Hey guys, it is Tuesday, so it's Tuesdays with your favorite nurse, Tuesdays with Lori, and you guys are in for a big treat. Great way to start the new year. I am super excited. I have been waiting for weeks to meet with this lovely lady, Dr. Anjali Love. She is a therapist,
Psychologist,
yes, as well as a yoga and meditation teacher and instructor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in for a treat today. We are going to learn how to set up a sacred space in your home. I know that's something that I need, is to help me either pause when I get home from work or a chance to just kind of set my intention for the day. So she's going to work with us on that, as well as some basics on meditation and how to use a mala. So super excited. So This is Anjali.
Yes.
And her
hello.
beautiful space. With little Toby.
Yeah, with my pup who meditates with me all the
I
time.
love it. Love it. And the first question I usually ask all my guests, are you a dog person or cat person? But that's
Pretty obvious.
I love
yes.
you already. I love you already. And we are here in her sacred space. So tell us a little bit first about you, how you got into this wonderful practice.
Well, it's so good to be here and so good to meet all of you. And yes, so I started meditating many years ago when I was 27. But I kind of let that go and got into my career as a psychologist and therapist working in private practice. And then I got into yoga in 2009 because I was leading a therapy group for women that were sexually assaulted, and we lost funding for the yoga teachers. So I thought, why not take a yoga teacher training? I never thought I would teach yoga ever, but yoga just kind of took over my life, and I started teaching in 2009. And then I've just never stopped. I've opened a couple studios. And then in 2014, I went to India, and I've been back several times to study breathwork and mantra and meditation. And that's my passion now, is really supporting people in having a consistent daily meditation practice, something that can support them and finding that inner peace, inner stability, and inner strength. So,
and especially with the way 2020 was,
yeah,
I think every human could benefit from this. So I'm going to be sending this information out because we need to support each other.
Yeah, and finding that place of inner stability, because our external circumstances are changing all the time. And I used to be one of those people that was trying to control everything and make everything happen, and then it's just like,
it's exhausting.
Yes, it's exhausting. And so I really started practicing and teaching people how to come to themselves and trust themselves, trust their intuition. Find that that place of inner stability. And when you have that, then no matter what comes at you, it's so much easier to navigate.
And to deflect it, right?
Yeah, and I really do believe people have so much wisdom inside of themselves. So it's just creating a little bit of time every day to just be in stillness and to listen. So many people have had trauma, including myself, or struggle with anxiety, depression, and addiction. And so much of that, it's like we don't want to be with ourselves, right? If we're feeling stressed out or anxious or depressed, I know for myself, I didn't want to be in my own space. I did anything I could to kind of escape it. And so creating a sacred ritual for yourself to come to silence is really, it's a practice of self-love and self-care and learning to really honor yourself and love yourself.
And it's never too late.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I like that.
I'm still learning.
That gives us
and I'm
hope.
53 and I'm still wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We keep learning until the day we die. So I plan on learning until I'm in my hundreds. Because meditation, I think it helps with the longevity, decreases stress.
Yeah. People who meditate are happier. They feel more grounded, more at peace. There's so many health benefits to meditation, but most people don't do it because it's super hard to just sit in silence, right? We don't value it in our culture. It feels like we're very doing culture. So it feels like creating space to sit with yourself is kind of a waste of time. But it isn't, because if you're more grounded and more kind of focused, you'll get a lot more accomplished instead of running around and,
Multitasking,
being
like,
in like a stressed out state. Totally.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's start with basics. Maybe creating a peaceful space.
Yeah, I know. It can be really, really simple. So starting a meditation practice, a morning ritual is so important. Like where you start your day. If you start your day from a peaceful, grounded space, then it just kind of sets the tone. And it doesn't have to be long. You could start with something small, like 5 minutes. And yeah, this is my sacred space. And it doesn't have to be huge. I have this huge sacred space, but, and so it's really creating like an altar, and this is my altar, and it's just putting anything that feels good to you, anything that feels peaceful. I have incense and a candle. I have a picture of my boys and different yogic deities. But you can put anything. It could be like a corner in your room. You can put flowers, candles, just anything that feels really a place that you want to come, that feels nurturing.
Inviting.
Yeah, that feels nurturing. I have crystal bowls over here. I have a bunch of tarot cards. And yeah, just things that fill you up. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a huge space, just a little place. It could be in the bedroom, the living room, and it could be just like something small, like just a candle.
That's nice. And a proper cushion to kind of keep you in alignment.
Yeah,
so you're comfortable.
Yeah, so when you sit for meditation, it's finding you want your hips higher than your knees. And so we're sitting on meditation cushions. But if this hurts your knees, you can always just get like a little stool or a chair and sit. But it's just finding a comfortable position that you can sit in.
So no real rules necessarily.
Yeah, I find that if there's too many rules, people won't do it. So I say, like finding a ritual that feels good for you, and I am all about finding a meditation practice that helps you come into that place of silence. So that could be meditation, that could be breath work, that could be chanting some mantra. It could be just making a gratitude list for your day. So I work with clients to help them find something, a place to begin, something that's doable and achievable, and then we start to expand from there. Because ideally you want to sit for 20 or 30 minutes each morning. But we can start with 5.
Baby steps. Yeah, we don't have to be an all or none.
Yeah.
You can do small increments. And I know sometimes I'll use Insight Timer when I'm driving to work, and I'll say, okay, 7 minutes, and I'll just use that as like a guided meditation. So there are apps that you can download as well to kind of like either to guide you, or the music, and just finding that quiet time.
Yeah, there's so many wonderful apps out there. But again, it could be just, first thing in the morning, you get up, you come to your meditation spot, you take a moment to sit. And I've been making malas. I don't know if you wanted to go over that meditation.
I do.
So during this time where we've been indoors, I started making malas, and they're a little tool that can be used to help meditate. And so they're necklaces, or I made Lori a bracelet. So they're necklaces or a bracelet that you can wear. What you do with a mala is you bring I'm just going to teach you guys real quick. You bring it over your third finger, and then your thumb comes on the bead, and you chant mantra. So mantra is just a word that you say to yourself. And so we have thoughts going in our minds all the time. That's what our minds are for, is to think. Yeah. That's what they do. And a lot of times our thoughts can be overwhelming. And I think it's something like 80% of our thoughts are negative.
Uh-huh.
And we have the same thoughts every day. And so when you bring in a conscious mantra, you're just kind of training your mind to align to a more positive state of consciousness. So if you're in anxiety all the time, it's going to kind of show through your energy. But if you're bringing in a conscious mantra, which we'll do today, you're just aligning yourself to that state of the mantra.
So I was sharing one of my challenges, and yes, I got extremely long legs. It's hard for me getting comfortable, and I'm focused more on the pain on different parts of my body than I am on the breath. So you were sharing there's lots of options just for finding that quiet, comfortable space.
Totally. So I will help people like find a comfortable way to sit. I'll have them sit on it sounds like so ridiculous, but it's like true. This is the stuff like, how do I sit? What do I do? And so, that's what I want to do is just help people to find a daily ritual, whether that's meditation, breath work, and I use yogic rituals, which are kriya, breath work, mantra, all of these rituals which help to calm the nervous system and rewire the brain to find a place of peace. Like I said, that is my main goal, to support people in having that daily ritual that's gonna, help them to fill themselves up. So it's working on calming the mind, calming the nervous system. We spend so much time working on our physical body, which is super important, but our energetic body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, those are the things that I really love to help people work on. Yeah.
And what is the name of your business?
Yeah, so my business is called The Awake Life. So theawakelife.com. My Instagram is Dr. Anjali Love. And like I said, I've been doing therapy work for so many years, and I've had yoga studios, but this year I've really stepped into helping people find daily rituals that really help on, again, the level of not only the mind, but also the emotional body, the energetic body. And these are the things that I talk with people about in our sessions, letting go of like controlling the external and really working on that internal environment.
None of us do that.
The internal environment, and to create changes. I feel like we get into patterns, behavioral patterns and habit patterns, and we try to change them and we can't. So people try to fight their habits and get upset with themselves. And I try to work with people like, let's just create a new habit. And the reason we can't make change is because there's something that may be stuck in the nervous system or, again, the body. And so I help people understand and look at their past trauma, their maybe anxiety, depression, addiction, and through yogic rituals and meditation, we can shift some of those patterns.
And I'm pretty open that I've, suffered childhood trauma, addict, alcoholic. I was able to spend some time in Colorado and do a lot of healing, and I just came back a different person. Healing from the past trauma, learning some new tools. But sometimes when you're home and you're in your space, if you aren't consistent, you're not able to keep up with those tools.
Yeah, and what happened for me is I was going to India, like I've been there 8 times, and I would go there for a couple weeks or a month at a time, and I'd feel so good because I had that steady, consistent, like meditation, yoga, like really, and then I would come back home. And it took me years to really kind of find a way to incorporate these practices in my life. So that's kind of where my passion comes from, because when you are consistent, you experienced it. When you're consistent with your meditation, breath work, you feel so good, and it's possible to incorporate that in your daily life. But I think it helps to have someone to hold you accountable, someone to check in with, someone to like be your cheerleader and be your support, so you don't feel alone in it.
And you were saying that you will practice meditation here with someone teaching them.
Yeah, so what I found is I would give people meditation practices and they wouldn't follow through. So I really work with people for a month long or 3 months. And so I meet with them every week. We talk about what's happening in their life, set goals. I give them a meditation practice. And then they can reach out to me, text me anytime. I'll meditate with them. I will make them a video and really support them and giving them the tools that they need. And then when they're ready, sending them on their way. And, you know, there's little teeny breath practices like in our day when we feel kind of anxious or something happens. And my go-to is always like food. I'll eat some cookies or something, you know, and if I do like, I'll teach people like minute-long breath practice to come back into that checking in with themselves. So yeah, I'll be there to support someone in finding that foundation. And once they have it, they have it.
So we're winding things up for today. Any last words of inspiration or how you can actually reach out to someone and help make a difference?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me here.
My pleasure.
Like, it's my favorite thing to talk about this stuff and to support people and empower them to know that they can, like, that you can change, you can shift, you can create anything that you want to create in your life. And I think it's just sometimes having support. Having someone in your corner to believe in you and to like see your strength. That's all you're doing in your practice is aligning to your strength and aligning to your light. Sometimes, you know, it can be muddy, it can be messy, like showing up for yourself. But it's just letting go of the judgment and coming into softness. And so, yeah, if you need anything, if you want to change a behavior in your life, if you want to start a business, if you want to heal a relationship to yourself or another person, reach out. Because again, through talking and support, I use that as well as these yogic rituals to help people come back home to themselves and not abandon themselves. So thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
And Toby too.
Toby's been
adorable.
He's almost just like a stuffed animal. I'm a big dog person, but there's a few littles that I will love, and he's adorable. Should we end the session with, do you have a meditation bell?
Oh yeah, I have my little...
Because I'm going to be adding this to my little sacred space, a little meditation bell.
Yeah, and I have crystal bowls, so stay on the watch when we open back up for retreats, and I do women's groups and workshops. And
I'm putting something together myself, so you guys stay tuned.
Yeah, it's so important to stay connected, so thank you so much for reaching out.
My pleasure. Yeah. And your website is
www.theawakelife.com.
And my new branding and website is up, and that's www.lorimitchellrn.com. And you guys can see my new logo. My Tuesdays with Lori will be posted there, and YouTube is a work in progress as well. So until next week, be kind, love your pets, and stay beautiful.